All right, here we are. Welcome. Welcome. It looks like I have sound right now. Cameras are all seeming to be working. Welcome. It is Tuesday, and this is Take Two Tuesday from the Stamps of Life here in Southern California. Welcome to all of you. I see some of you are here already on our chat. Awesome. Happy to see all of you here. Let's see. Take Two Tuesday. What is today? Tuesday, October 29th. That means we are almost to Halloween, right? Big day coming up Thursday, Halloween. And also on that night, I know there will be new items on our website. Let's see. Let me say hi to everybody that I can. Hi, Veer and Nancy and Ellen, Damari. I love Tuhula. Sounds like fun. Who's else on there? Shelby, Nancy. Welcome, Polly. I saw you there earlier today. Sandy, awesome. Welcome to all of you. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. Let's see what's going on here. At the Stamps of Life, we're getting ready for our big club shipment coming up on this Friday. Yes, if you are a diehard club member, a Stamp Club member, we have a new shipment going out this Friday. He wanted to say October 1st. It's November 1st already. Can you believe that? November 1st already. Let me see. I'm still trying to figure out a few buttons here and there, but let me see what I can do. This Thursday, I don't exactly know what the plan is, what Stephanie's going to do. I know we have some family stuff going on with the at our church. We call it Fall Fest, but we really know it is basically Halloween, but a safe and fun Halloween. At our church, we have what they call Fall Fest. They bring in they have a little animal petting zoo, horses you can ride for the kids. They do trunk or treat where they fill up cars. They open up their trunk and they put in the candy there. And so instead of like going door to door to get candy, the kids can just go to the trunk of a car and get something. And I know they do tons of food, like we have hot dogs and nachos, all kinds of junk food, but it's fun. Sometimes they have ice cream there, but at least this is what they have told us. The last couple of years, they have had like a couple thousand people attend. And so that's really awesome. A lot of people come out for this. So it's kind of a way for us to reach out to the community, our neighbors, and it will be a fun time. So that is on the schedule. Again, there's usually a crafting corner. I don't think there's going to be a crafting corner this Thursday, but I think Stephanie might be popping on. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say exactly, but something will be going on. It'll just be different this Thursday night. But on the website, there will be new items. And then Friday, I will be up bright and early, and I will, yes, let's see if I can answer any of these questions. Damari, yes, the Folded Club shipment went out last Friday. So if you're a Folded Club member, they did ship. They did ship last Friday. And we're in Southern California. They should be on their way to you. They should be getting out to you with, that's going to be like the double shipment. So if you had signed up in October, you're going to get that freebie squirrel along with the new folded shipment, which is, gosh, I haven't even talked about it. Let me see if I can find it on the website here. If you haven't seen it, it's real fun. It's this Christmas bow. And there is a video for it on the website. Here it is. Let's see if it shows it very much. Yeah. I'll switch over my cameras here. Hang on. If you did not, nope, not that one. Yeah, there we go. If you did not see, this is the new Fold It right here that is now available from the Stamps of Life website. You get 2 stencils there. And this bow is really fun. I've seen a lot of really nice card samples with that. They're in the video. I don't think we have a gallery for this folded bow. Let me check real quick. Well, I better not do that. But anyhow, I've seen a lot of great ideas, and this is versatile. Of course, Christmas time, great, but you can use it like so many times throughout the year. And also with the Fold-its that they can just go right onto a card front or a scrapbook page. You can make a Fold-it card out of it. Lots of different things. You could decorate a bulletin board, or you can make a banner out of it. Different things that you can do with the Fold-it. So those did ship last Friday. I forgot I had not been on since I since I shipped those. So yes, thanks for the reminder on that. Those did go out. And then again, we'll have something going on Thursday. I'm not sure. It could be Thursday night or Friday morning. I'm not positive. That's Stephanie's department. And then speaking of Stephanie, she will be on HSN tonight. All right, tonight if you are on the East Coast, 7 o'clock. Hi, Karen. 7 o'clock on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, 4 o'clock. If you're somewhere in between or Hawaii, you'll have to calculate it. I know it's somewhere in between. If you're somewhere in the United States, if you're in Hawaii or Alaska, the hours could be a lot different. But she'll be on, and I think it's just one segment on HSN, but there could be 4 items or up to 6 items. I don't know exactly. But she told me she would be on in that hour. And even when I spoke to her last night, she wasn't sure what part of the hour. But the 7 o'clock hour if you're on the East Coast. 4 o'clock if you are a West Coast Pacific time. That will be fun. Yeah, we thought about getting these hats. I don't know. I like my black hat. Stephanie has a pink one. Someday we might add them to the website. We have to find things. It's kind of hard. This is, I think it's kind of a flexible. You could adjust it to almost any size. But we try to avoid things like we did shirts a long time ago. But the problem was figuring out sizes for everybody. And you have to have a ton of different sizes. And then you also, maybe our sizes are different than what you're used to. So it didn't always work out. So we're trying to keep things simple. We might do a hat sometime. We'll see. Would anybody want a hat out there, a black or pink? What would be your choice if we did have hats and you wanted to wear one? Or maybe you don't wear a hat. You can say, no, I don't wear a hat. Out in the chat. Let's see. Next week, I will not be here live. I'm going to take a little break next week. We're going to be off for a few days. But I will have a Take Two Tuesday episode that is pre-recorded. And I will post that at the same time next week. Okay? So there will still be an episode. And it should stream out. And I think there's a way that I can join in the chat and we can all watch it together. So that is the plan. So still plan on 10 o'clock Pacific time next week for Take Two Tuesday, and then 1 p.m. Eastern. And hopefully I'll be joining live on the chat. That is the plan, okay? So next week will be taped, but we'll still have a fun time. Just won't be live, but hopefully I'll be live on the chat. That is the plan if it all works out. If the video starts and you see I'm not there, I apologize. I'm going to try to make it work. But there will be some questions so you can add into the chat. You guys can chat with each other. If you say, what is he talking about? Or that was really good. Whatever you want to post, you can add your post there. Again, we love to hear from you. And it makes it more fun when everybody gets involved with the chat. We have a Slimline die to take a look at today and a stamp and die combination. What else? We will have our good news segment. That will be at the end. We'll do a little Bible devotional, Matthew chapter 12, if you want to join in for that. I hope you do. We're doing, again, about 1 chapter a week. Now, for next week, we'll have a different topic. We'll have a little break from Matthew. We'll do something different next week. So that'll be a surprise, something to look forward to. And what else? I think that is about it for all the big news around here. After I finish here today, I've got to go out and do some shipping. We're packing a brand new kit. Not a card kit, but one of those special kits. It will be coming out here in November. So I got to get all those. Maria's packing them, and I got to get them boxed up and shipped to Utah. So I will be working on that as soon as I get out here. Before this, I was editing videos. I was fiddling with my camera, trying to make sure I had audio this week. Remember, last week I had audio problems, couldn't figure out what happened. Polly's got a birthday coming up. Happy birthday. Polly, if you check your account, there should be a little surprise in your account when it's your birthday, if you signed up for it. So if you are a club member, I think it's everybody who has an account. I'm not positive about this. It's either club members or everybody, one of the two. You go into your account and there's a setting where you add the information for your birthday. And when your birthday comes around, there's a little surprise. That's my understanding. So if anybody knows about that, add in the chat. I used to know, but I haven't looked for so long. I'm not sure what's up with that, but I would be pretty certain that that is still continuing. So you might want to check that out. All righty, let's see. Let's get moving here. Time to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to remove that. And first up, we are going to do our... Let's see. Let's do the Slimline first, okay? No. So I wanted to mention that for you. The Die Hard Club is shipping Friday. And good time to join. If you join within the month of November, there's a special surprise, a couple special surprises going out with the December shipment. So if you've been thinking about it, go ahead and jump in. That would be a good idea. And then last thing, visit our website. There are new items from the 25th. That's the kind of release where we have extra items, things that were out in the past, maybe at HSN. They're re-released and added to our website. So if you didn't see that, make sure you check it out. And then again, like I said, Thursday night, Friday morning, there will be lots of brand new stuff that you'll want to check out. Now, where is my slim? Oh, there. No, it's not that one. My little slide is not here. What happened? Well, down here in the corner right now, it should say wedding ring Slimline die. So just pretend right down there, you see a little box that says wedding ring Slimline die set. It's from April of 2021. You might have this already. 2 dies. It's a really nice pattern. And let me show you on the website. Oh, before we even do that, I have a question for you. Do you remember the last wedding you attended? The last wedding that you attended? And do you remember how long ago it was? What was the last wedding that you attended and how long ago was that? Was it? Let's see, that's not... All kinds of goofy stuff going on with this one. What was the last wedding? I think the last wedding that I was at was before COVID. So I'd say it's been about 5 years. And it was one of our friends and his fiance from church. We had a good time. It was in Orange County, kind of close to the beach. We had a good time. Yeah, it's been like 5 years they've been married. I think they have 2 kids now already. So their family's growing. And yeah, so that was fun. Do you remember the most recent wedding you've been to? I know Stephanie went to a wedding that I wasn't able to go to. It was on a weekday during the day, but it was one of our real good friends. And that was probably about maybe 3 years ago already. But we have been having there hasn't been very many weddings for us to attend lately. So it's been a bit of time for me 5 years ago. So let's see. 2005 for Sylvie. That was the last wedding. Wow, that's a big gap. Sylvie. My daughter's wedding and on 9/13/24. Woo, that was just recently. Congratulations, Kelly Ann. Just this past Saturday, Karen. Wow. So some of you guys have been to some Nancy on 10/12. Our son got married in June, upstairs hobby room. So a lot of you have had some recent ones. That's great. Maybe there's been a lot of weddings going around and I'm just not getting invited. I don't know. But it's been 5 years for me since I've been to a wedding. And I think that the one before that was our daughter Kirsten. So it I have not been to too many weddings lately. Let's see. I'm going to switch back over. Hang on, I did find that item, the wedding ring. There we go. Okay, on the website, here, let's get rolling. This has two die set. And, excuse me, they call this, I believe, the outside, the bonus part. It says a bonus, but a set of 2 dies. You do need to have a base. When we go to die cut it over there, I'll show you have to have a base in order to die cut this out and have it work with the Slimline panel. So I'll show you the base. If you have a base already, this is good. You can just add it to the card front of that base. If not, it's just going to kind of make a nice pattern, but you're not going to have the base of the card, the Slimline. But this will create the front. Let's take a look at these card samples and the card samples I have. Here we go. Go enlarge those. And it's just fun. The wedding ring as the background, and you can just add anything to the front. Be yourself, that says celebrate. So it's called wedding ring, but that's just the style or the name. But look at the different ways that you can use it. Happy anniversary. That is it. So that is one way. When you have the base, you can make it a drop-in. Fun idea. And there are the dies. And I do have with sympathy. That works. Lots of different things. Happy anniversary. Feel better. And back to our Be Yourself card. So you have those options. And let me show you what I have here with me. I have a handful. I think they are, some are the ones we saw on the website and some are different. We have a little mix. Oh, this camera is not on yet. Let's see. Let me fix this real quick. I know it's charged up, but I didn't turn it on yet. So let me fix this. I call this camera 2, which it shows where we display the cards. It usually is pretty easy to set up. Should just take me a second here. Oh, we're not going to use that stand. Here we go. Hopefully these will show up. Perfect. All right, here's our card samples. There it is with our llama to stamp. That was a club set several years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. The llama, Happy Mail, it says. And this is one of our wreath stamp and die sets as well, which is also a club set. Let me see if it says on the back here. Nope, it doesn't tell us our die sets on this one. There's the Celebrate that we did see on the website. So again, with the Slimline, you always have the option. You can go, what is this? Horizontal or vertical, right? You got those two. Here is another vertical, the card going up and down. Be Yourself. We saw that one on the website. Fun thing about the Slimlines, there are lots of area to add your sentiments, that kind of stuff. And this is a hello card. And that's nice. Let's see if I can go back a little bit so you can see it all the way. And what was the stamp set on that one? Oh, I need my glasses. Hang on. Flowers to Layer is the flowers that you see on there. Flowers to Layer with our hello die. That is a vertical die, dropout die. Okay. Let's head on over. It's not far away, a couple feet here to our workstation. And we will die cut with these. Come up with maybe a couple of ideas of what we can do with this one. Again, 2 dies, and let's go ahead and move over there. I think that's all set up. Here we go. Still got my sound running. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, here are our 2 dies that we're working with from this set, and we're gonna adjust this just a little bit. Give it a little bit more light. It's a little dark over here today. Again, it changes, like it seems like every episode. Maybe the lighting in this office area is changing a little bit because we're kind of going through season changes, right? It does start to feel like fall today. Much cooler here at the building, which is nice. It's comfortable. When you turn on all the lights and everything, it warms up quite a bit. So this is nice, comfortable weather for working. When all the lights come on, it's just about perfect. I remember the very first episode of this I was a little bit nervous, but it was super cold too. And between those two things, I was like shaking. It was kind of cold. I think that was the coldest it ever was. That was back in January. And then there's been some days where it just gets so hot in here during the summer. And we really did have pretty much a mild summer. Okay, now if you have a base like this, you have to have this in order to really make this function, because basically these dies are going to go right into there. So you have to have some kind of base. We have a couple of different options for bases. This is the regular Slimline. It has a couple, it has the happy birthday, some butterflies on it. That's on the website. Just type in Slimline card if you need a base, and you can use this one quite frequently. And then we have a lot of, these would kind of be drop-ins that you can add into there and add a little bit extra. So ahead of time, I did go ahead and I die cut a base for us to work with. And let's see, we're going to go ahead and get some cardstock here. And maybe before we die cut, we'll just do a little bit of coloring, or brushing, I'll call it, with some ink. So it won't be just plain boring white, but this will give us a little bit of a interest. I'm just gonna, this is our egg carton sponges. And usually when I first use it, it's kind of dark. So I'm gonna tap it over there and then just kind of color it around a bit. We'll do one more time. Excuse me, I have a little bit of allergies, I think, today, because I've been coughing a little bit extra, so I apologize if I do that. I'll try to fill that in, and just to give us an idea if we're going to get some of this area mostly covered. Yeah, we need to do just a little bit more. And there's no right perfect way to do this. You just kind of brush this around, and the colors usually look nice here. We want to have a lot of color on this so it does stand out a bit. Now, the color of my base is probably not the most coordinating, but it should still turn out fine. Let's go ahead and run this through with our die set there. Now, if you just wanted to do a drop-in, you would do it just by itself, this one die, the actual wedding ring die. But in order to cut it out, we need to have that outside piece there. And to keep it kind of even, I'm going to go ahead and add some washi tape here. Seems like when I don't add the washi tape, the lines get a little bit, not bad, but they get a little uneven. And I'll notice, I'll say, I should have went ahead and used the washi tape. It would have looked better. So I'm going to go ahead and do that this time. And it just kind of keeps these sides a little bit, the borders a little more even. All right, we've got that. We're going to run that through. And if you're new to the Stamps of Life, this is Take Two Tuesday, where we look at items from the Stamps of Life website from the past. Many of you already have these items, and newer viewers or newer customers of the Stamps of Life, you might not be familiar with these. So that's what we do here at Take Tuesday. We just take a look at items from the past, do a little review, a little refresher. We love when you can use items that you already have. And then if you do not have these dies and you want to get them, they're available on the website. We're going to run that through there. And let's see what we have. Get that out of the way. Our washi tape off of there. There will be lots of chads on this one. It's kind of a crazy one. So you can see all of these down here. And this is one where you could put the adhesive on ahead of time. You could use an adhesive sheet, but we can just roll it on. You don't have to, up to you. But I will need a dye brush here. But to give you an idea of what we have, it looks kind of pretty there. It's got the different shadings of that grape color. And I'm just going to run these through the little dye brush here. It'll knock out all those little extra pieces. And we'll get some scratch paper and we'll put some adhesive on here. So we have that. Good so far. And we want to add that to our card front. Let's get the adhesive. Hopefully this adhesive works. I haven't checked ahead of time. And I do need some scratch paper here, so I don't get adhesive all over my machine or on the cutting pads. Let's put the adhesive on here. I'll just put a couple little spots in the middle. All right, that should be good. Then we're going to take our base and we're just going to layer that right on top. Oh, I did have one. So we have the option to do it like this, if you like. And that looks kind of pretty. You could also, I'll show you another option. You could also add it to, I did it like this earlier. I added white behind it. So you can go with this color here, which looks pretty. You could add white in behind it. It would look a little more like this. And let's go ahead and see one other thing, which I didn't test earlier, but it should work out. What if we went ahead and just, now we got to get all these pieces out of here. I don't have a trash can. This is going to get messy. Let me drop it over here. So lots of different things you could do with this. You can layer it. You can add background colors to it, but you can see just the shading really made a nice outline for us, kind of a background looking die for us. I like the colors of that right there. You could use, I have bubblegum over here. There's pixie, all kinds of different options. You know, you could coordinate it better than, I'm not sure if the grape really works with, this is probably peacock, but that's what I came up with. Again, you could pick a different color for your base, but let's see what happens. Go ahead and we will run this through. Now, this is not the way you're supposed to do it. After you do some die cuts, you don't want to, and some inking, you probably wouldn't want to run this through like I'm going to do, but I just want to see how this comes out as a card, as a drop-in. As again, I did not think about that earlier today, but that is an option. And I saw that from one of the card samples that we were looking at. So you just add the die right there to the base, and it should cut out the front for us. Give us a real nice looking card front. There's my other pad. Let's run it through one more time. Oh, I forgot. I think I do have some fun facts or interesting facts about weddings. We'll look at that when we go back, head back over to the computer. All right, so it looks like it's all in one piece there, but let's see what happens when we take this washi tape off. All right, it's made a real nice pattern here, so we have to pop out all those little, we'll call them chads, these extra pieces that have been die cut. Oh, that looks really nice. So you have a lot of options with these. Once you have that card base, any of the extra panels that we have on our website will really make for some nice cards. Let's take a look at this one, see how it comes out. Okay, I think I got them all. One there, I missed. All right, let's see how that looks. So it's something you can do also. And that looks right into your card. That looks really sharp. So you can do it as a drop-in. You can do it just as adding it to your card front, be kind of like a background. And again, the one other option that I had shown you, that I do with that, it's gone. I don't know how it could disappear like that. Oh, then the option of you can add a white background to it and then add it to the card front. So lots of different things you could do with that. Very versatile, gives you lots of different looks, different color combinations you can come up with. Lots of fun. That is the Wedding Ring Slimline die set from the Stamps of Life. Again, it says wedding ring, but definitely versatile enough to use for many different occasions. If you need to make a birthday card, yeah, you can do a shaker card, right, Damari? Let's see. So weddings, I saw a celebrate, anniversary, get well. We've seen all kinds of whatever words you have, whatever stamps and dies you have, whatever images you already have, you can just add them to your card front. See, it's super easy, right? Super, super easy. But it really makes for a nice background behind whatever you add there to the front. And then again, remember you have the option of making it like a window. You can add colors behind it. Lots of different things that you can play with that. And they're all going to be really unique and different looking. Like here I see this designer, like I had just white here behind, but I assume it's she went ahead and she shaded the cardstock that was behind there, and it really looks nice. It's a little bit darker down here and it gets lighter as you go up. So that background, that rectangle piece that's behind, you can give that some little extra color and interest too by just doing some blending with your sponges or brushes, however you want to do it. And let's see my interesting facts about weddings. We'll probably have a lot of wedding stuff here on the Stamps of Life when we get maybe to springtime and that kind of stuff. So I'll just tell you a few of these things, and we'll save some of them for later. This has 25 interesting wedding trivia facts. It says perfect for your bridal shower, but some of them are a little borderline. So now I'm going to ask you these questions as we go. On the next episode, I'm going to remember how we did that quiz before, where they tell us if we get the answers right or wrong? Our next episode will have that. But this one doesn't have the answers for us. But in the question, it tells us. So I will ask you, what is the largest wedding destination in the United States? What area in the United States has the most weddings per year? Anybody want to guess? Hi, Shelly. Antoinette, welcome. Who wants to guess? Where are the most weddings in the United States each year? Here we go. Answer, Las Vegas. Las Vegas, yes. Damari got it. And then upstairs, Hobby, you were close because Hawaii is second. Guess this. Oh no, this is the bad part. Because again, this is for a bridal shower, so I think it's supposed to be funny. But Nevada also holds the record for the highest number of divorces. Okay, so I don't know if you want to get married in Las Vegas or not. Which month is the least popular to get married in? Which month is the least popular to get married in? Least popular. What would you say is the least popular month of the year to get married? Go ahead and in the chat, post your guess. No right or wrong. Sylvie says December. Kellyanne says January. Anybody else guessing? September, says Damari. Okay, the least popular month is January. January. If you said January, you're right. And what is the most popular month? What do you think the most popular month is? Now, January only gets about 5% of the weddings. This month gets over 10%. What do you think is the most popular month of the year to get married in? It is, if I had a drum roll, June. June gets over 10%. Stephanie and I were married on June 23rd, 1990. So June is the most popular. I know January's cold, so that would be one reason not to have as many weddings. And then I know some people like to get married in December, because if they're going to get married and they don't have a special day, because you get some tax breaks or something, right? If you get married in the year before it turns to the next year, it helps on your taxes. Let's see. Did you know that women have been wearing wedding rings for thousands of years, but when did men start to wear them? Anybody can guess? I'll give you a hint. It's in the 1900s. Men started to wear wedding rings. Can anybody guess about what the year was when men started wearing wedding rings? I would have thought always guys and girls did, but it was women before this. Any guesses? Here we go. The answer is around right around World War II. It was a way that men could remember their wives during the war. Huh. So around 1940, 1945, right around there. I guess guys didn't have wedding rings before then. So you girls didn't have to go out and buy a wedding ring. So you're off the hook for a little bit. Let's see, we'll do like one or two more questions here. No, we won't do that. Oh, this is a good one. This is kind of a funny one. Why does the bride traditionally stand on the left of the groom? So if you're looking up at where they're getting married, the bride is on the left, right? And the groom is on the right side. Why is that? Does anybody know? Any guesses? This is kind of a wild one. I'll give this information out. Where does Here Come the Bride come from? It's from an opera, German opera in 1850 called, I'm not sure about my German accent, Lohengrin was the play, it was the opera, and it was kind of made famous by Queen Victoria's oldest daughter, Princess Victoria. She used that song during her wedding procession, so that's when it became famous. Okay, the answer for that last question was, so the groom could fend off suitors with his right hand. So I guess back in the day, like people were getting married, and like if you were the bride, maybe somebody was going to try to come steal you or fight for you or try to break up this wedding. So that was the reason. The groom could use his right hand to fight off suitors. So I think that's kind of funny. Let's see. We did though here. Let's find like one other funny thing. How many years is the longest marriage on record? Can any of you guess? What is the longest marriage on record? It's well past 50 years. I'll give you a hint. Well past 50. Who do you think has been married for the longest? At least this is in current or kind of recent history. How long do you think they were married? Yeah, well, what if he was left-handed? Yeah, you're right, Kellyanne. I guess you can be left-handed back then. You're in trouble. So the age is Jennifer got it. How'd you know that, Kellyanne and Jennifer? Were you guys Googling on the internet? How would you know that? 84 years is correct. This couple was, and they both passed away when they were 105. So they got married like when they were 21. They were married for 84 years. Wow. And this one's just for fun. I don't know if this is really official, but maybe you know these people. On the flip side, how long was the shortest marriage on record? Now, I bet this is just because they must be famous people, but the shortest marriage on record is less than 24 hours. And I know the first name, Zsa Gabor, and Felipe de Alba was her husband. They lasted less than 24 hours. I guess that's not a record you really want to be happy about, but that's what happened. All right, we're moving on. Yeah, Kellyanne, that's right. Older people do sometimes get married in the retirement homes. That happens. All right, we're moving on. Let's find our next item. This is again Take Two Tuesday. Ken here at the Stamps of Life. What is our next item? I do have a slide for this one, and maybe you saw it over there. Iced coffee. Iced coffee to stamp with dies. Also from April of 2021. I've hit this April of 2021 box, so you might see items from that time era coming up for a little bit. But here they are, stamps and dies on our website. Let's check them out. And this is a fun set. I am not a big coffee drinker, but so if you like coffee, this is great. Oh, what is my question? I do have a question about this for you that you're going to have to answer. Now this is if you like coffee and you could only have one, would you rather drink coffee hot or cold? And then my question for you people who don't like coffee, or maybe you're not normally a coffee drinker, what is your, if you had to drink coffee and you had to choose, would you choose hot or cold? What would you choose? So if you like it, would you choose hot or cold? And if you don't like it and you had to drink one or the other, which would you choose? I would go, let me switch back over to me. I would go cold because I know I can drink those frappuccinos and stuff at Starbucks or wherever you get them, where they put the whipped cream and the caramel and all that stuff. That works for me. But other types of coffee, it doesn't really interest me. When I used to work at a restaurant waiting on tables, like a coffee shop, I would drink coffee every once in a while, but I had to put a ton of cream and sugar in it, which was, I think it kind of defeats the point, right? It's really not that much of coffee anymore if you just add a bunch of milk and cream and sugar, but it tasted better then. So that's why I would stick like with the cold frappuccinos. Would you be a hot or cold person? If you like it, hot or cold. If you don't like it and you had to drink one or the other, hot or cold. So everybody can join in on that one. Okay, back over here. Now, you see a problem here. There are only 2 of these left right now of the stamp set. 7 stamps, it says, some sentiments and some artwork there. But I will reorder these. So if they run out, if you want this and you go to look and it's not available, there will be a button right here that will say notify me when it comes back in stock. So today, actually, when this episode's over, I will go and order some more of these. But there are 2 of them. So if somebody wants them, these stamp sets, there are at least 2 right now. And then I know there's plenty of dies. So you could always get the die set. And then when the stamps come back in, you can get the notification that they're available, and then you could still get them added up together. But the dies are on the website, plenty of those, but only 2 stamp sets right now. Let's look at our samples. There's our image on a Slimline. That's a great A2 card there. You can go crazy with these, add lots of different colors. That looks like real coffee. Life begins after coffee, it says. Fun, fun cards. Let's get a cup of coffee with our hearts there. I can't remember the name of that die set, but I love that one. It slides, that front of the card slides, and it makes the images stand up. And there we have with one of our doilies. So just lots of different fun stuff you can do. Life begins after coffee. Our designers really did a nice job with all these coffees, I think. There we go. So that is on the website. Just 2 stamp sets left right now. And again, if you scroll down a little bit, you would see the other coffee items we have. There's the dies. We have a coffee statement. There's sweet. And there's also, this has always been a super popular one from way back. Maybe one of our most popular. This was not a club set, but it was like an add-on set, and this has always been one of the most popular, the coffee cup dies and the coffee for 2 clear stamp set. And there's also a folded, so a few different options that are coffee related, but today we're looking at the iced coffee. So So seven stamps. How many dies did it say? Let's check out the dies. I forgot to mention that. There are 10 dies, so a few extra dies here. 10 and 7. Remember, our stamps are made in the USA. They're real nice, high quality. And I did have some facts before we move over. Cold brew facts. So if you want to make cold coffee, no heating is required. Maybe these are things that you don't know. This is some information that I didn't know about. No heating elements are required in the process of making cold. It says cold brew, but it means cold coffee. This is ideal for those summer months when you don't want to have a bunch of hot things around. I don't know. I'm not sure how they make it. Do they just soak the bean? Let's see. Okay, here it says cold brew coffee is made from coffee beans that have been steeped in cold water for 12 to 24 hours. So steeped, I guess that means soaked, right? 12 to 24 hours. During this time, the flavor, the caffeine content, and sugars are extracted. This process is to ensure you don't enter up with bitter tasting coffee. Hot coffee can be bitter, right? Unless you add the cream and sugar, definitely. And I guess cold coffee comes out a little bit sweeter. That is something I did not know. I thought they were just always adding sweeteners or something to make it taste sugary. I'm sure they add some. So there it is. It says it tastes sweeter. Cold brew coffee tastes much sweeter than regular coffee. It has about 67% less acidity than the hot coffee. And let's see, there's no bitter aftertaste in the cold coffee. Cold brew coffee contains more caffeine than regular coffee. So if you need caffeine, you can get more of it from cold. Interesting information to know, right? Cold brew is a great pre-workout drink. Thanks to its high caffeine content, cold brew can give you motivation to face your workout session. Now, I go to the gym, and every once in a while I do see some people come in with coffee cups, and I always assume that it's hot coffee, and it doesn't really match to me having hot coffee at the gym, but maybe it's cold coffee. It's possible, and that's going to get them going. It says you will double your chances of making it through your workout session without feeling fatigued and experiencing muscle pain. Cold coffee has some benefits. You will increase your post-energy expenditure or afterburn effect. Maybe that gets your, what do they call that when you're trying to burn calories? Your metabolism, right? Metabolism gets going. Drinking cold coffee is a better alternative for those who have sensitive stomachs. So if you have that problem. And cold coffee is good for dieting. It says milk and cream tea adds about 70. So there's not much calories in coffee. If you add the sugar and the cream, it says there's about 70 calories per cup. But I guess you fill yourself up with coffee and then you don't want to eat. That's what it sounds like to me. Leftover cold coffee can be used to make ice cream. I have seen a lot of flavored ice cream. I don't normally order that, but every once in a while there's like a mocha cake or some kind of chocolate cake that has coffee flavored ice cream. I'm fine with that. Not my favorite, but it says you can also use it in brownies, coffee smoothies. We're talking about those. Add like banana, soy milk, yogurt. So there's some options with some cold brew coffee things, maybe some facts you didn't know. I don't think I knew about any of those. I'm not much of a coffee aficionado. I think that's how you say it. Aficionado. Let's go check these out. See what we can do with these real quick. Here we go. Oh, you see it's a big mess over there still from that wedding ring die we just used. It's all right. Just means we're having fun. Let's go ahead and get our stamp set out here. So I guess counting this stamp, I would have 3 available, but this one is here in Laguna Hills and it's not going to be in Utah, or it's not going to be on our website. Let's go ahead and stamp. We'll just stamp this one here. And I don't think I have any brown ink pads. No, I don't have any brown here with me. I'll have to find some for next time. I don't have as many colors here as I should. We're just going to lay that on the block. If you're new to stamping, that just goes right on our acrylic block like that. And see if I can straighten that out a bit. And let's pick a different color. We'll try blue. This is blueberry. And we're just going to add some ink to that stamp. And I think you can see what I'm up to here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just a little bit. Hang on there. Let me zoom this camera in a bit. Now that I'm shaking it. There we go. Maybe you can see a little better. So we're just going to add our ink there. Tap that around lightly. We don't want to get too much on there. And earlier today I was getting real nice images out of this, right out of the pack there. And our best results are going to be if we use our Stamper's Secret Weapon. And it's just kind of a cushy base for you to stamp on. And it will help improve your image results. Let's go ahead and stamp that there. There's one. And let's go ahead and try it again. Another one. That looks great. And then we could, if we wanted to, we could add some extra colors here. Maybe I just want to have a little blue. We'll get that stronger part there. Make our cup a little blue on the inside. We can do that. And if I had chocolate, well, I could do black. Well, that won't look that good. So let's just do a couple of these with our blueberry. We'll make this one a little bit darker. And we'll pretend that's whipped cream on the top. We'll just leave that just how it is. We could go ahead and get our dies out and run this through. We'll take the outside. You could, if you wanted just the inside without a border, you would use this inside die here. This die will create a border. So you have the option to get different looks when you go to die cut here. And again, we want to use our washi tape. On there. Let's run that through. Got to get our secret weapon out of the way. And here we go. Oops. Every once in a while I do that, I forget to put a plate underneath. You kind of have to have it just in the right order or it's not going to work. You need a cutting pad, then your cardstock, then your die, and then another cutting pad on top. And that all lays on this big platform here. And let's get this out of the way. I feel like something bad is going to happen whenever I leave my, see, like that. If I leave my ink pads open, somehow they end up on the ground, on the carpet, or on the floor, and then you have a real mess. So it's wise, especially for me, since I know I'm probably going to drop them, to go ahead and get those lids on. There's one. Let's go ahead and do the other one. We'll just go back the other way, and again, I need my washi tape. Otherwise, my lines are going to get kind of goofy here. Add that on there. And I see it's a little bit off, but that's fine for now. We're just kind of seeing what we can do. Now, if you want to create these images and die cut them, and you can put them straight onto your card, great. Actually, we'll do one each way. Let me find that card that I had here from before. And again, my color choices and options, I'm just giving you ideas. I'm sure that you are much more creative than me and you can come up with some much better ideas. But I'm just trying to give you some basic ideas, like with the blending, using different colors, backgrounds. You decorate how you like, whatever you think looks good. Now, what am I looking for? Adhesive, here we go. All right, if we just use straight die cut, we can add that right to our card front, just like that. Looks fine. But if you want to add a little more interest, we can give it some depth. How do we do that? Get this. This is called the Stamps of Life foam adhesive. So it's sticky once you peel it off, but this foam will just cause your image to pop up and elevate a little bit, and that gives some dimension to the card. And I always like that. I just prefer it. You don't want to do it all the time on every single card with every single item, but I really think the depth adds a lot of interest. You know, when you have a card and there's some embellishments on it that come off the card, that always looks nice to me, like a bow or something that just pops up that's not quite so flat. I always like that. I prefer that. So we have the just flat image, looks fine. And then you have here where you have one that has a little bit of extra depth. And it just pulls it off the card. So it really separates it from the background area there. So you have two different options there. I did these earlier ones. On this one, they're both have the foam. And I think if you're going to do one or the other, you'd want to do both rather than having a flat one and one also coming out. So just different things to think about. I like the adhesive foam and the adhesive sheets. You come up with whatever you like, but here are some options with the iced coffee. This goes great on a Slimline card like this, or we saw it on some A2 cards. You could add it to a flip it card. Probably would work on like with some fold it cards. Maybe you have the donut fold it, or what else would it work with? Maybe, I don't know. You just have to use your imagination with other folders. No other ones pop into my mind right away. I was thinking of the donut with the iced coffee. That would be kind of fun. Different things you can do with that. Again, that is the Stamps of Life iced coffee stamps and dies, available on our website. And just two of those left right now, but I will reorder them. So don't be disappointed if they sell out. I will get more. Plenty of dies, but if you see that little message pop up there where it says, hey, we're sold out, you can hit the notify me button and you'll be all set, ready to go. All right, we are moving on. Again, my name's Ken here at the Stamps of Life. If you're new watching with us, welcome. This is Take Two Tuesday. I hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday. Yes, it does give it some extra visual interest. That's why I do like to use the adhesive foam. Let's see, we are going to open up our Bibles. If you have your Bible with you, I hope you do. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 12. Let me go ahead and remove that. And we'll add that for right now. I have my Bible and I will open up. We'll do a little devotional. We'll go through the chapter real quick as just an outline. Like, it's fun to just pick out a verse, but it's really smart to read the Bible like completely, not just skip to the parts that we like and then ignore other parts that maybe don't interest us. So when we do a chapter like this and we only pull out one verse, which is okay, that's what we're doing, and we can learn a lot. It's kind of nice and fun to know what's going on around that one verse. So we don't just take the one verse and make it something crazy and wild and maybe say something that is not actually correct. We want to be very careful about that. That's one thing that is warned about in the Bible, is if you're going to talk about it or think about it or share it with people, you don't want to like misuse it, take it out of context. So we want to be careful about that. So as we do the outline, it kind of helps us. Now, you remember in the last chapter, Jesus is starting to meet opposition. The biggest group that were opposed to him was this group called the Pharisees. They were kind of like the religious people of that day, and they were very much into the law, they called it. Let me hit, my alarm just went off. The law, they added all these extra rules, and that was the problem. They got so religious that it just became about a whole bunch of laws, and they weren't really their heart wasn't connected to God like it should be. That was what happened. They were interested in all these rules, but they weren't getting connected to God. So here we go. Chapter 12. Our main verse will be towards the end, and it will be verse, I think it's verse 35. But let's see. So here at the beginning, they start to talk about the Sabbath, and they accuse Jesus of breaking the Sabbath here by him and his followers. They're just taking wheat out of the field. They're eating it. But the Pharisees, they say, hey, you're breaking the Sabbath because you're working. And then Jesus heals somebody on the Sabbath, and they challenge him. And they say, Jesus, you shouldn't be doing this. It's the Sabbath. You're not allowed to do anything basically on the Sabbath is what they were saying. But Jesus tells them, hey, even on the Sabbath, you're supposed to do things that are good. And he kind of gets them with this guy who has a hand, who's crippled, and he says, stretch it out. He stretches out. Jesus heals him. And then they're whispering, hey, he broke the Sabbath. But Jesus knew what they were saying and what was in their hearts. And he says, this is kind of important. What man is there? So he challenges them. What man is there among you who has one sheep, and if it falls into a pit on the Sabbath, will not lay hold of it and lift it out? And how much more value is a man than sheep? Therefore, it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath. So these guys, if they had an animal who was in distress, they would help the animal, which is a right, good thing to do. But if they wouldn't help a person, that doesn't make sense. But Jesus says, no, it's lawful to do good things, even on the Sabbath, even though it's designed to be a day of rest. If there's some way we can help somebody, we're to do that. Then he says, let's see, we'll go on down, and Jesus is healing a bunch of people. He tells the crowds of people that he's healing, don't tell other people what have happened, but they're going to go out and they're going to tell. Jesus is at this time trying to avoid crowds and trying to draw a lot of attention to himself, because he knows he has this opposition, the Pharisees, because back in verse 14, it says the Pharisees went out, excuse me, and plotted against him how they might destroy Jesus. So their plan is to kill him. And that's pretty crazy, right? Just because he's saying the Sabbath is a time to do good, the opposition is getting serious right away. And so Jesus is trying to keep a low profile. He's healing people, but he's telling people, hey, don't go out and make a big deal out of this. But I'm sure that people were. If God touched your life and changed and healed you or did something amazing in your life, wouldn't you likely be wanting to tell other people about it? Hard secret to keep. And then it goes on to say that they were accusing Jesus of being used by Satan, that his power to heal was actually given to him by Satan. But Jesus says, no, that's foolish, guys. Satan's not going to be working against Satan. Satan doesn't want to heal us. He doesn't want to do good. Jesus is not connected to Satan. So here it is, more and more opposition. And then our important verses are in 31 and 32, where it says the unpardonable sin. There's only one sin that the Bible says that God does not forgive. And that sin is when we reject Jesus. That is the one thing that God does not forgive. Any other sins, God will forgive us. If we truly turn from them, excuse me. Again, I apologize. I think my allergies are starting to kick in. Any sin, God will forgive us. But the sin of rejecting Jesus, that is the one. And it's the Holy Spirit who will speak to us and tell us that we need Jesus. We accept and believe and follow him. All our other sins can be forgiven. But that is the one that will keep us from a relationship with God. So that is very important. If you ever wonder if there's any sin, anything that we can do that will separate us from God, that is the one, if we reject Jesus. And then our main verse, I will bring it up here. Let me hide that. And here we go. In the next section, that will be our verse. But just right after this, there are some, let me take that back off real quick, because there are some other things. So the opposition kind of continues. Jesus has been doing all these miracles and healings and all these amazing things. Well, or down around verse 38, they say, show us a sign. Show us that you're from God. Well, he's been doing that all this time. And he knows they're not going to believe in anything that he does. And he's not going to put on a show for these religious people. And then it talks about how evil spirit they had in these times. And I'm sure it's prevalent even nowadays that people were being controlled by demonic forces. Jesus said, if this demon is to depart from this person, they go out, but they come back to this person who has maybe not changed their life and not chosen to follow God. So here they had a problem. God rescued them. The demon left them for some time, but they didn't choose to follow God. And well, the demon comes back, basically. And so when you have that moment where God is working in your life, it's time to respond. It's basically, that's how I understand that. And then at the end, more opposition, kind of strange, but they come and ask him, hey, Jesus, your mother and your brothers are outside. They want to see you. But Jesus says, hey, true family of God are the people who are right around him, his disciples. So when you follow Jesus, it doesn't matter if, or say your family are Christians and they're all committed to following God, you know that. And so you say, or I say, I'm a Christian just because my family is a Christian. No, that's not how it works. We have to each have our own relationship with God. We can't rely on the other family members. But the problem here was with Jesus' family, they did not believe in him. His mom, his brothers, at this time, they were not believers. Later on, when we get like into the book of Acts, we'll discover that they did change and they did put their faith in their belief in Jesus. So imagine that, like they lived with Jesus for 30 plus years and they saw him live this like perfect, amazing life. But now that it's ministry time and he's going out and doing these great things publicly, they, for some reason, don't believe in him. It's kind of weird. So you can see how the different opposition and everything is coming together as we're here in the middle of Matthew. But we're going back to, we won't spend too much time here, but a key thought, something to think about. It says, a good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure brings forth evil things. So my thought on that is, what is being produced from my life and also from your life? And this is something that you are going to want to ask yourself. Am I committed to God? And is it demonstrated? Are there good things coming out of my heart, out of my life? Or am I in that camp where maybe I think I'm doing good, but what my life is producing is not that great? Now, it's not our place to go out and point everybody else's faults out, correct? It's no fun when people do that to us. But we have got to be honest with ourselves, I always think. We know we can't fool God. Number one, that is for sure. We can't fool God. We might be able to hide things from people and unfortunately even hide things from ourselves. But the important thing is that we really, really, really be honest with ourselves. What do we see coming out of our lives? Our thoughts, our words, our actions, the good or bad things we do, the good or bad things we don't do, all kinds of things. We need to examine our lives and see what our lives are producing. And if you want to look at a passage, we won't go through it, but if you want to go to Galatians chapter 5, which is a little bit to the right of Matthew, Paul wrote this letter, and it gives a list of things that were coming out of people's lives that were not really living for God. It starts about verse 35 in chapter 5. And then right before that, no, I'm sorry, that's not correct. Chapter 5, Galatians, but it is chapter 19 and 21. It has this list of things that are not too great, and hopefully we don't see these things in our life. But then it mentions the fruit of the Spirit. So I can read these ones for us. Galatians 5:22-23. Do we see these things being produced in our lives? That is the question we have to ask each of us. Here it is. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, forbearance, peace, patience, and forbearance. That's the same. Kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Ask yourself, do you see these things coming out of your life? Love, joy, peace. Are you patient, kind? Is there good things coming out of life? Are you faithful? Are you gentle? Do you have self-control? I have to ask myself these questions too. This is a demonstration that we are connected to God. Again, the verses just before that, 19 and 21, we won't talk about them, but there's some really not so great things there. If we see those things coming out of our life, there's definitely something missing in our connection with God. All right, that will be the end of our good news segment today. Thanks for joining me today. Have a wonderful Tuesday, all of you. Again, I'm not sure exactly the plans for this upcoming Thursday, but Thursday, Friday, something will happen. I know that we have Halloween stuff on Thursday, and then Friday morning, for sure, I'll be sending out the club shipment. And then again, like I said, next week, we will be on with a taped version of Take Two Tuesday, but I want you to know that will take place. And I think that is about it. Again, have a wonderful day. Thanks everybody for joining in with our chat here. It makes it more fun when I see some answers and there's some interaction. I wish I could hear your voices or see your faces. That would be even more exciting, but I don't think I have a way to do that right now. Maybe at some point. We have a little bit smaller group here, so maybe there's a way I can figure out how to do that sometime in the future. So I will try and see if I can't figure out a way to invite you to a group. I don't know. I think it's possible. So I'm going to look into that. Hopefully, again, you enjoyed our stamps and dies. Those are all on our website. I'll put the links in the comment section down below. If you didn't get to join in with the live chat, that's okay. Add your comments down below. You can answer any of the questions we asked during this episode. Add your comment down below. That will be fun. And we are always watching for the comments. And if you need prayer for anything as well, add that down in the comment section down below. We'll pray for you. We like to do that and see what God will do in your life. As a matter of fact, before we leave today, let's go ahead and pray together, huh? Father, we thank you so much for blessing us with this wonderful day. It's great to get to know you and to be a part of your kingdom. It's great to have your word and to be able to share it together and to think these things through. We pray that each of us would just be honest with ourselves and we would just do a self-examination to see, are there good things coming out of our lives? We want good things to be part of our walk with you. So help us to, again, just be honest and truthful. And then if there are things that need to be changed, give us the power and the ability to change and to be all that you've called us to be. So again, we thank you for this time we could be together today, and we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Thank you for joining me. I will see you on the pre-record next week, and after that, the following week, I'll be back again live, but I'm going to try to join in on that. I'm going to try to join in on that chat next week, okay? Where is that? There we go. That's it. I'm out of here. Take care. Bye-bye.